The EduTech guys present a conversation from our live coverage of FETC in Orlando, Florida from Thursday, January 25th, 2018. Enjoy the program.
Awesome. I'm Nicole Feeney. I'm the Director of Assistive Technology Services at the NEAT Center. We're located in Hartford, Connecticut.
Awesome. My name's Eric Feeney. I teach third grade in West Hartford, Connecticut. I've been teaching for 14 years.
Awesome, cool.
No relation.
Yeah.
None.
You guys don't know each other, do you?
Only for a very long time.
That's awesome. So tell us what brings you to FETC.
I've been coming for several years. This is one of my favorite conferences of all time. And this year we decided to put a call for papers in to present on assistive technology in the general ed classroom.
Okay.
And so it's kind of what brought us together. We don't work together, but at home we often talk about how assistive technology plays into the regular ed classroom.
Sure.
And so we wanted to kind of bring that level of information to some of the FETC
Awesome, cool.
participants.
That's great.
So one session, and that's what it was,
Yes.
bringing assistive technology into the general ed classroom.
Correct.
Yesterday, that was like our theme. We had a lot of people talking about
Great.
assistive tech, and so that was a lot of fun.
That makes my
because,
heart happy.
The equity and the realization that we can have a universal, response to this is really great.
Yeah.
And we're both tech guys. I'm for a district and he's for a service center, educational service center. So we've been doing this for a long time, and we were talking about seeing the big equipment like Kurzweils and things like that we used to have to use, for vision impaired students and all the things we've done. And now we're down to I can use this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
every kid has the opportunity to learn just like the rest of the kids in the classroom. So summarize your session.
So we talked about we introduced 3 case studies, maybe 4 case studies of different students at various ages with varying abilities and disabilities, and how technology was used with them to bring access to information, and then for a way for them to show their comprehension of materials. What kinds of technologies can you use in your classroom to allow kids to be able to do that? Mm-hmm. Kids who can't read, a typical book or a worksheet or even a website that you're giving them. What kind of technology can be used to give them access? Mm-hmm. So we did 3 or 4 different case studies of kids with different kinds of technology. Things like Clicker. These aren't necessarily some of the vendors that you see here, but we also talked about tools like Vocabulary and how they're starting to integrate assistive technology features within these ed tech tools,
Yes.
which makes me really happy.
Yeah.
One day I would love to see that I don't have a job in assistive technology and that it's just kind of
It's just expected.
it's just there,
just
it's
there.
expected, it's
Yeah.
universal.
Well,
Yes,
and you think
yes.
about the companies doing that hardware-wise and OS-wise, also Apple. They've added so many assistive pieces. Thank goodness I need the magnifier every day so I can
Yeah.
see without my glasses on.
Absolutely.
But you're right. It exists. So do you guys talk a lot about what type of hardware to use? Because some of it does and some of it doesn't.
Right. And so we talked a lot about the platforms of technology that are out there and how it's more about the features and the settings and the tools that you find on those platforms that give kids access, not necessarily the tools. Mm-hmm. Apple's done an amazing job setting the bar. And so now you have all these other tech companies trying to compete, and the competition creates assistive tech supports for kids everywhere. And so we talked a little bit about, like, if you have an iPad, what kinds of features are available on there for these types of students, but also thinking about it in a broader sense where you're talking about more of the settings and the features, like dictation. If a kid needs access to dictation, doesn't matter what platform of technology, you can find it on all of these different devices. So how do you find them? Mm-hmm. It's more about teaching a student how to use the skills, generalize, scaffold, and then integrate it into the classroom so they can be successful.
Cool. So what are some of the things that you're seeing at your school along assistive technology?
So my school's very diverse. There's so many from backgrounds to money to individual needs, and I feel that this is a good way to have an equal playing ground for all the students. So I'm very happy with using Seesaw, which is great for parent communication. and great for students collaborating. It's like educational Facebook almost.
Yeah.
But everything goes through me, so I have to approve everything, so it's safe. Parents are loving it and giving me great feedback on that. Vocabulary, like she mentioned earlier, the vocabulary, the images that pop out on the screen, the words, the opportunity then to create their own rap based on the topic is great. I used Kahoot was another fantastic one. We created one for our session, which was lots of fun. Put in some fun questions. The kids love that. Just doing a lot.
Yeah,
I could go on. I can list more, but they're all great.
So with your presentation and the case studies, the information, were those case studies that you worked on? Were these other things? Was this other research that you did externally? Talk about some of that.
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
And so we obviously lived together. So conversation comes up about students' needs and having the assistive technology background, we kind of can talk about, well, hey, have you tried using word prediction or co-writer or having him type, talk into a document instead of typing? And so there were a couple of his students that we used as case studies and then a few at different age levels. We wanted to kind of show a growth over K through 12.
Sure.
Dinner is like a collaborative professional meeting for me. Seminar. It's like grade level meetings.
So you get
Even
to write
with
off
our
all of
daughters.
your meals on your taxes.
Right. Yeah.
I may
We have
You guys are gonna have to
twin
eat out.
daughters who
I was
like
gonna say, you guys
to.
have to eat out way more.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to think about that one a little
Do
bit.
your
more.
daughters, do they input?
We have twin daughters in 4th grade, and they now have been
The
immersed.
perfect age.
Immersed in technology,
Yeah.
and they have their own opinions about how people might assist themselves using
Other knowledge
technology.
on the topics of what individual needs may need or what will be beneficial for a certain person is amazing. They're 9. They're reading, In Your Mind, Wonder, Fish in a Tree. All these books are based on people with special needs.
Yeah.
They're loving it. They're definitely in part of our collaborative discussions at
dinners.
Educational think tank at the dinner table. I mean, really, you
Yeah.
got student input. You've got
Yeah.
the
Yeah, really.
We do. We really do. Maybe that's a
Teacher,
workshop for next year.
that might be really cool. That's a really neat idea.
It might
could be our
be.
That's a
YouTube
great
channel.
blog, by
There
the
you
way.
go.
I mean,
There you go.
hey, that might be a great podcast. The whole thing online at dinner. Just to throw that out there.
Dinner with the
One
Feenies.
microphone in the middle. There you go.
Wow.
I'd listen.
That's
We might be having a very different conversation next year.
Well, that's true.
And where I teach, my girls attend the same school.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Yeah.
again, we're common talking.
But in all seriousness, I bet that input's pretty valuable.
Oh wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really valuable input.
Even when it's like student interest, you have a guinea pig. Like, what's working for you? What do you like? What are your learning styles? What are kids talking about?
Yeah.
It's great.
That's
It's
really
fantastic.
awesome.
And then I live with an assistive technology specialist.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can bounce ideas off. I was doing QR code scavenger hunts like 5 years ago, and my grade levels were like, "What are you doing?" I had kids running around with iPads, and it was thanks to Nicole and
Thanks to FETC.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Shout out.
So, reception in your session. A lot of good questions that made you go, "Oh, we need to add this to the list."
Yeah, we actually had one teacher from Dubai, and we were talking about a program from Crick Software called Clicker, which gives kids who have physical difficulties, writing difficulties, spelling issues. It gives them like an interactive word bank in their computer, and she had never seen it before. And so now she's taking this one tool, and she actually won the giveaway for it. So it
Wow.
it was
Wow.
really
That's-
special because now she can bring that back to a community that hadn't seen it before.
Yeah.
And it was great to see Nicole in action. I've seen her present, and great to be a part of it. Thank you for allowing me that opportunity. I want to say it on the air.
That's cool.
And then someone said, a teacher went, she mentioned something, and the teacher went, "Shut up." And Nicole said, "What'd you say?" Shut up. She goes, "Oh, no, I won't." And it was just a great response to see that teacher or adult learner see something so cool, and then she mentioned shut up, and then her reaction was like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
It was great to see.
Yeah. That's
That
awesome.
was very cool. And then there were a lot of aha moments when you see someone look up, nod, and then write something. That's a good feeling. you know?
And I think that's when we present. It's the same way. It's like I always say, if I can just reach one person, I'm good.
But
You
you're
know?
not reaching one person.
But
then.
you're not.
Really, that one person's going to take it back
Right.
and share
it.
that with other people.
Mission.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're just a missionary, and you're doing
Absolutely.
your best job you can do.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the clicker. We had someone on yesterday. I can't remember her name. It'll come up in a second. I can't remember who it was, which one it was, talking about new devices, and we're talking about a turtle that autistic kids can use to hug to answer questions.
Yes.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where we're moving in technology, like I say, technology's finally caught up with education.
Right.
And it's going to be a glorious time over the next few years.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that the thing that I'm looking forward to most is something that you had talked about earlier, and it's that the shift from assistive tech to the universal
Yeah.
tech. That it's not going to matter what I have in my hand, and it's not going to matter what my disability is. I'm going to be able to adapt that device to what I need, and it's going to be personalized for me, so that whatever I need to do to make this device adapt to me, Jeff doesn't necessarily even need to know that it's happening.
Right. You just blend in.
Right, exactly. And now I get to exist in the same environment that everybody else does.
Part of the group.
Right.
And still
Equals the
and
playing
learn. You know, we have a lot of students who exist in that environment, but they're not necessarily truly integrated and incorporated in that environment. And I believe as we continue with what's going on with assistive tech and move toward that universal, I mean, it's just going to be it's going to be so phenomenal for those students who really, really need it.
I look forward to that. We're really reaching that point now, but you still have students who are like, I know that'll work for me, but I don't want to use it because it looks different than everyone else.
Right.
And
Exactly.
we're still there a little bit, but you do have kids kind of more adapting and grabbing tools that they know can work for them.
Yeah.
I think our kids are
So
getting
cool.
to the point where that they're that I'm going to go, hey, I want to use that too.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's okay. It's just
Right.
equitable across the board.
Yeah, how many of
I'm
those
like,
assistive
this is gonna help
technologies?
me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Wait,
You
that's
know,
just another tool that I can use too.
Right.
Hey, that's cool. Let's
you have general ed students who are using the assistive technologies because they like them. They think it's cool. It's helping them, not necessarily in the same way it's helping the student who quote unquote needs that assistive technology, but this general ed student is like, oh no, I want that.
Yeah.
Well,
I want
right.
the line reader. I want
Yeah.
the bigger text. I want the
Well, it's efficiency, right?
Yeah.
Whatever makes you more
Right.
productive and speeds the time with which you're working.
Exactly.
And the kids are
we
going to figure
mentioned
that out.
we mentioned an example of that small tech feature, a whisper phone. So I have a student that reads out loud for comprehension. It goes right into your ear. He needs it. Other kids were like, "Oh, that looks cool." So I have one kid that needs it, and the other kids that want it. They all during silent read time or partner share. They have the whisper phone.
Yeah.
So everyone's using it, and that one kid that needs it doesn't look out like he's
Different.
standing out.
Which I have to say, that is a very cool thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that's one of those things.
yeah.
Like even adults are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, working?
Yeah.
How's this working?" It's a bent piece of plastic.
Yeah,
How's this
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if our listeners want to reach you and contact you and
Yeah.
become part of your PLN and pick your brain or find out what's going down, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
They can tweet me I'm at NEAT, NEAT with Nicole, and they can tweet me. I'd love that.
Awesome.
I am at Mr. Mr. Eric Feeney. Mr.
Cool.
Eric Feeney
Awesome.
With a C.
with a C.
With a
With a
C.
C.
Eric
And that's
with a C.
FEENEY.
Cool.
You've been listening to a recorded conversation from EduTech Guys, live coverage of FETC 2018. For more information about EduTech Guys, visit edutechguys.com. And thanks for listening.